and let us all do we can to build a better future.
There has been a lawsuit naming the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, otherwise known as Prince Andrew, as somebody who raped a teenage girl who was one of the women who were young girls who were being groomed by Jeffrey Epstein and his conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. What has happened today is that Prince Andrew has been stripped of his royal patronages, his military affiliations, and the style of... Now, the issues with the military, stripping him of his military affiliations, that came after an open letter sent to the Queen by, I believe, 150 veterans who said, look, this is toxic, this is disgraceful, we cannot have this hanging over us. And so she has stripped him of those affiliations. He's been stripped of his royal patronages. These are the organizations that he is patron of. Keep in mind that the British royal family is a working royal family. They call themselves the firm. You are expected to be very active. But to lose his style is quite something. And if you don't grasp this, I don't blame you. It seems like an anachronism, but basically a style is what you would call a person of some level of rank. Could be a royal rank, could be a political rank, it could be a religious rank. It's how you refer to them. The title is what they are. The style is how they are referred to. And he has lost that particular style, His Royal Highness. That is major. He was an HRH from birth, and for that to be stripped from him really is taking part of his identity as part of the royal family. And Buckingham Palace has released a statement saying that he is moving forward with this lawsuit as a private citizen. This is a bomb, and I know that it sounds kind of gossipy, but I think what it does show here is that the media has, in this particular case, after probably ignoring Epstein for a long time in his association, the relentless pursuit of this case is exposing some horrific misdeeds, horrific crimes in high places. We also just received word, the Independent reported today, that Ghislaine Maxwell is no longer fighting to keep secret the identities of the John Does in various lawsuits. So these names may be released of other associates, people who were taking advantage of what Maxwell and Epstein were doing. This is not my normal area of discourse here on Civically Minded, but I do think that this is critically important in the sense that this is exposing people at the highest levels, what they were doing, why were they doing it, and to see this happen in the royal family, the significance of this, myself being a royal watcher all my life, I can't overstate that. This is humongous.
Well, when it comes down to individuals like Prince Andrew and all the other slimeball people that knew Epstein, I think all of them need to face justice. Including when you have Democratic and Republican lawmakers, other entrepreneurs and business people, tycoons that knew...
A lot of people.
Yeah, they all need to be held accountable. And by the way, folks, no matter what their stations are, you know, these people were in positions of power that could have stopped that slimeball Epstein, but they chose not to because they were good pals with Epstein. They were friends with him. Good friends. So as far as I'm concerned, they all need to be put on the chopping block because none of them are good people. None of them.
You know, we minimize these crimes. Socially, we have minimized these crimes. And I remember back when I was in high school, and that was in the 80s, dating myself here, but it was back in the 80s, there was a teacher at the school who was known for dating his students.
Ugh, gross.
All right? And he was giving them drugs, and he was known for dating them. Everybody knew it. The other teachers knew it. Everybody there in that school was complicit. I remember actually I had heard this from other sources, but I also remember being in a classroom while one of my fellow students, 15, 16-year-old boy, was telling our instructor, a respected high school teacher in one of the best high schools in the country, I might add, public high school, but one of the best in the country, was saying that he knew all about this other teacher who, and him dating the students and giving these girls drugs. And the teacher was like, well, okay. This is the sort of thing that is hidden in plain sight because the people who have knowledge of these crimes never stand up, speak out, use their power. Prince Andrew had power. Could have easily put a real stop to it. And probably more than anybody.
Clinton and Trump, too.
Well, but they were political.
Yeah.
And the British royal family is not. Constitutionally, it is not political. He could have done something. He really could have. And in a sense, he may have even been in a more protected position than anybody else, and he didn't. A whole lot of people didn't. Mm-hmm. And this is in high schools, whether it's in churches, whether it is with tycoons treating their friends to wild parties. This sort of stuff continues to happen in plain sight because nobody wants to speak out. It is normalized. Consequences are absolutely necessary. And for Prince Andrew, well, he's facing a pretty serious consequence here. And again, if you're not a royal watcher, you may not grasp how big this is, but this is his own mother, stripping him of these very essential parts of his identity. And at this point, this can no longer be tolerated. It can no longer be accepted. I don't care what kind of money you have or the money that you don't have. We can no longer keep silent when people are being exploited and abused.
Yeah, agreed.
So there's that initial story. Also, U.S. Supreme Court has blocked the vaccine mandate for larger businesses. So what apparently was happening was the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, was trying to use OSHA as a way of dictating to large businesses that they had to have regular testing or vaxes. And the Supreme Court has said, no, it was overstepping its bounds. Now, the fallout on this, I'm seeing a line, is pretty much falling out along ideological lines. And it's not unexpected. You're basically saying, you're seeing so-called conservatives or libertarians are cheering this on because they're saying, yeah, federal agencies can't be overstepping their power. And then, of course, you have people who are, well, Dems, who are saying, test. Now, the one thing that I will say about this is I am not crazy about administrative agencies overstepping their power. I will also say that I am not looking forward to all the tisking from the Dems on this issue, telling us that this is what happens when you don't vote Democratic. Mm-hmm. They're going to say, well, it allows that whoever is in office to stack the Supreme Court in a way that we don't like, so therefore you have to fall in line with the Democratic Party line.
No, so here's my opinion on the Democratic Party. They're never going to fight for anything. And when Obama, during his final years, when he could have put his Supreme Court pick in, or when he could have had Ruth Bader Ginsburg resign so he could have another pick in, they're never going to enforce it. This whole idea of Democrats wagging their fingers, oh, you got to vote more Democrats in so we make sure this doesn't happen again. Democrats aren't going to fight for you. They're not going to fight, period, even when it's in their best case scenario, when they have everything working for them. We know that Democrats just don't want to put in effort to do any work, and they know it too. They're very lazy. So all that finger wagging from Democrats is just a lazy person who doesn't want to do their job. And the thing is, that's why I'm not voting Democrat at all, period, because they don't know how to fight. Well, they know how to fight. They're just choosing not to. I'm going to use Daniel's words on that one.
I was gonna say this. I was gonna say that same point. They're not being lazy. They're doing exactly what they intend to do.
Yeah.
This is, again, Supreme Court's doing this, and I think I'm just gonna echo what Lainey said. Again, no one really cares at the end of the day. Everyone's just too busy fighting for power and which side you're on. So if you're in the Democratic persuasion, your stance is going to be, because you're just going to do what other people say, this is bad, this is very bad. And if you're on the Republican persuasion, you're going to say this is good, this is very good. But no one's really thinking about it. Everyone's just following party line. And to me, that still is no one actually cares about what is going on. everyone just cares about who can posture better.
Absolutely. And I'll also close this out with this remark, something I've been saying all along with this. We wouldn't be in this situation if the American people had any faith whatsoever in our institutions.
Mm-hmm. And
The powers that be have continuously let us down. They have failed to lead. They have failed to be transparent. They have failed to be accountable. And it has taken a mass disaster like this to really just show how deep this mistrust is. And this is why this is happening.
mm-hmm.